David Colthorpe, I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at York Minster.
And what's happening today in the Minster?
So we're about to start a fairly major security exercise that has been at least 12 months in the planning. It's led by North Yorkshire Police, but as you will have already seen, there are a great many different agencies here, and York Minster is not simply a venue for an exercise to take place. We have a moral and a legal responsibility to ensure that hundreds of thousands of people who visit and worship here each year, our many employees and the volunteers who come and help us daily, are kept safe. And to do that, we need to practice things.
Police, can you tell me what's going on, please? Police, tell me what's going on.
I've just found this girl in the street. I don't know what's happened to her.
Right.
I've been shot up earlier.
Right, okay. Any other victims?
One over there with me, mate.
Another one there. Right, we need to get her out. She's burned. We need to get her out immediately. Can you help her get up? Declothe her. Get her out back there, please. As quick as you can.
Stand up, man.
Been shot. Been shot. Right, bear with me. Bear with me a second, alright. Bear with me. We have a terrorist incident here. When you're ready, we'll move. Yeah? Move. Guys, if there's any casualties, if you get them to walk, tell them to walk out the area. Okay, guys.
So we're here this evening exercising at York Minster with police and blue light partners and Minster Police in response to a terrorist attack that we've planned as an exercise here. The scenario this evening's been a VIP visit to the Minster, so we get VIPs coming to the Minster all the time. They've arrived and they've been attacked by a terrorist who's armed with an edged weapon and acid. They've then been neutralised, and then further terrorists have used a lorry, what we'd call a hostile vehicle, to attack people, injure and run people over, and then take hostages within the Minster. So exercising in this way is absolutely crucial. So following the Manchester inquiry, those outcomes that came out of that have pushed us all as Blue Light Services to push and train our people, so we're prepared in a better way than we have been historically. So if we train in this way, we give people the most challenging scenario that's available to them. We'll be ready on the day if sadly it ever does happen in the future.
My name's Tony Peel. I'm the Group Manager for North Yorkshire Fire Rescue Service with the responsibility of York and Selby.
And at the moment we're kind of in partway through a scenario, isn't it, where we're outside York Minster. Could you just explain what is the scenario that you've been acting out and practising on?
Yeah, so this evening exercise is a multi-agency response to a terrorist attack, a terrorist incident in and around the York Minster. We started the attack with a knife and acid attack on a VIP. We then moved the attack onto a vehicular attack where we had a 16-ton lorry come into position and simulated running people over. And now we've gone into a siege attack with terrorists holding hostages within the Minster.
And this evening, then, obviously we've got North Yorkshire Fire Rescue, the police and ambulance have turned up. So it's all kind of it's a multi-agency response, isn't it? Your response then as the fire service, how does that kind of broadly fit in? Is it the police that kind of lead on the response?
Yeah, so the police lead on a terrorist response. They make sure that the areas where the casualties are safe for my team and the ambulance teams to go into. Once they're happy that those areas are safe, we will then go in and treat casualties. We will take away casualties as quickly as possible. So you may go in, it's what we call a 10-second triage. We'll go in, maybe put a tourniquet on, and then take the casualty to a safer area. You may have seen earlier when the police are actually saying, look, we need to move the casualty now. From a fire service perspective, we'll support the ambulance service with the medical part of it, but obviously we need to maybe lift casualties away from the scene, or we need to lift vehicles off of casualties, which was demonstrated earlier this evening. Our procedures by looking how the team performed, making sure that the things were done timely, making sure the team integrated and collaborated with our emergency partners. So the big take from us will be that we have worked collaboratively with our emergency partners to save as many savable lives.
My name is Detective Inspector Ryan Chapman.
And we're partway through the scenario in York at the moment. Can you just explain a little bit how, I think most people have heard the terms bronze command and silver command and even, is it platinum?
Gold
and
command,
then platinum.
Yeah.
Could you just briefly explain what that means and where you fit into that structure?
Yeah, so bronze command is usually on the ground level, so we'll be dealing with what's happening on the ground and initially processing all that information. We will then feed into silver command the information that we've gathered so that they can have a more strategic picture of what's happening, and then that would lead into the gold command, who has overall charge of what's going on, and that information would feed up that way.
And this scenario then in York, obviously it's involved a lot of people, I think 200 or 300, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
What would you anticipate doing then, taking sort of statements from each person involved?
Yeah, so what will happen is those witnesses will come across, and we have a reception team that would get the details from them, and we'd make an initial triage of them, and we would identify those that we class as key significant witnesses and those that we would class as witnesses. So the key and significant witnesses, we'd look to capture their information and evidence straight away, because obviously that's going to be crucial to any long-term investigation post an incident like this. We'd also obviously capture the other information from the witnesses, but it's about identifying that immediate key witness.
Well, we've done our own internal planning for events like this, so we are well established for any eventuality, whether it's a natural disaster, God forbid a fire, or something more like a terrorist attack in the future. So we have our procedures worked through, but we haven't tested them in an environment like this before. So we need to make sure that what we've planned for is it fit for purpose. So I would expect we would iterate and evolve from where we already got to. And I'm also looking forward to make sure that is all the interaction between this organisation and the many agencies that you would expect to turn up to a real-time event like this. Are they working properly? Can we talk to each other? Are we the passage of information correct? All those sort of niggly control point type things. Have we got procedures in place?